The gift of life. God often writes straight with crooked lines, showing his providence in the gift of life. The doctor had to act fast. 2 innocent people were about to die. Mark and Rachel Gehring drove to the hospital on October 9, 2007, when Rachel went into labor, 8 days past her due date. She called her family and friends and asked them to pray for a safe delivery. Around 9:30 that evening the anticipation rose, as it seemed that the baby was close to entering a new world, but something went very wrong. The baby's monitor showed that the heart rate had dropped to 60, and suddenly Rachel felt ill. The medical team went into immediate emergency management. About an hour later, Rachel awoke from the anesthesia, following a C-section to see Mark holding their third boy, Levi Felix. Mark was saying, "Our baby is all right." A tearful doctor, an anguished but relieved father, and a very weak mother, were looking on a cute little boy. It all flashed back. Almost 7 years ago, Rachel awoke from anesthesia and asked Mark, "Where is my baby?" The local parish priest was there, as Mark replied, "She didn't make it." Little Elizabeth Therese went to God at full term and is now in heaven looking down lovingly on her family. Then as now, the cause was the placenta. Placental abruptions are common in women who take drugs, have hypertension, or have blood clotting problems. Everything had looked normal in Rachel's case 7 years ago as it had this time. When the away from the uterus, mother and baby are in danger, the baby has only minutes until it loses its life support, while the mother hemorrhages internally. But God's hand was evident in the safe arrival of little Levi. Another woman was being prepared for a C-section in the surgery room when Rachel's nurse yelled, instructing them to get that woman out of the surgery room now so Rachel could get in. The anesthesiologist, who was on call, had shown up a half an hour late, so they were only about to start on the other woman rather than being in surgery for over 30 minutes with no other room or doctor available. Rachel's doctor grabbed her arm and walked her to surgery, without transporting her on the rolling bed, thus saving at least 2 to 3 minutes. Later, as Grandma was holding Levi in the hospital, the doctor came up and snatched him from her arms. She held him up to her face with a big smile and said, "You lucky little boy." The next few days Rachel began calling family and friends to thank them for their prayers and for the providential and safe arrival of little Levi. One of Rachel's sisters and 2 of her friends said that they had stopped to pray for her on the 9th, at 9:30 p.m. From a personal testimony. In John 11, we see that Jesus was late in arriving at Bethany. Lazarus died. Because the anesthesiologist was late, Rachel and Levi lived. Martha placed her faith in Christ's healing power. Rachel's sisters and 2 of her friends placed their faith and prayers before God and their prayers were answered. Jesus healed Lazarus and Rachel's doctor healed Rachel and saved Levi. Faith and prayer are powerful tools. If the anesthesiologist was on time, Rachel had a different doctor, and prayers were not said, the outcome could have been very different. The power of prayer is beyond the understanding of men. Leila Gifty Akita.